My name is Dr. Dick Nuwamanya Kamuganga. I am the president of Uganda National Farmers Federation. Uganda National Farmers Federation is a member of the World Farmers Organization. It has 120 member organizations with 9 million individual farmers. These are largely smallholder farmers. Second, I am a teacher at Makerere University, one of the premier universities in Africa and in Uganda. I teach agriculture economics and agribusiness in the School of Agricultural Sciences at the same university. Third, I am a son of a farmer, of a smallholder family farmer, and myself a smallholder family farmer. This farm has been a source of our livelihood, the bank of my parents, where they derived the school fees that paid my school dues, where they derived all the livelihood that have made us up to this point. When I say I stand before you, it means I know the details of and the challenges and opportunities in small family farms across the continent. Fellow farmers and fellow distinguished farmer leaders, I seek your nomination for the African constituents to represent you on the board for the following reasons. 1, to eliminate organizational capacity risk. I will do this through mobilization, organization, and formation of farm-specific enterprises. Second, I will empower them. Third, I will coordinate interventions for them to access resources, financial resources, access research, and market opportunities. I will champion enhancement of knowledge management among smallholder farmers. This I will do by creating platforms that will bring the researcher to the farmer and the farmer to the researcher. I will work to establish and strengthen the existing partnership at World Farmers Organization. This I will do by making World Farmers Organization active on the existing partnerships and creating new ones. I will promote digitization of farming and farming activities for transformation of a subsistence farm, African smallholder farmer, into a commercial farmer and integrate them in a global agriculture value chain. I will focus on reducing inequality for smallholder women farmers and youth farmers and enhancing their economic opportunities along the value chain in the global agriculture value chains. 7, I will champion World Farmers Organization to play an active role in implementing the SDG Agenda 2030 by eliminating and reducing extreme poverty and attaining zero hunger by 2030. My point number 8, I will focus on enhancement of the power of a smallholder farmer along the value chain through on-farm value addition, among other interventions. My point number 9, I will focus on prioritizing and championing the farmer-driven climate agenda in the spirit of the farmer route we are going to adopt today during this General Assembly. And this will ensure a sustainable farming planet for our generation and the generation to come. Last but not least, I am a team player. I will champion a responsible representation that promotes collegialship and partnership among my board members and the other partners around the world for promotion of the values, the mission and vision of the World Farmers Organizations and its members. I have learned that there is a big knowledge gap, knowledge deficit that would be necessary to empower and uplift the sprite of the smallholder farmers on the continent. This particular problem is prevalent on the African soil. We have adopted an agenda called the farmer route, on which philosophy here is everything should be centered around the farmer. And this is exactly what I intend to do. First, I am creating a farmer university platform, which research generated by the university informs the farmer, and the farmer response informs the research at the university. I am bridging the gap between research institutions on the African continent such that their research becomes more relevant to the smallholder farmer, and the smallholder farmer gives feedback to this. I am particularly passionate about one point. That's the point of integration of young farmers within the global farming community. The African continent where I come from, 70% of its citizens are below the age of 35. This is the youngest continent across the globe. And these young people face the challenge of the future, both for employment, for livelihood, and income growth. I have been speaking specifically to the African continent, but permit me to move to the global stage to represent as a board member or other constituencies at World Farmers Organization. At the world stage, here at the board of World Farmers Organization, I intend to champion what we will adopt at this annual general meeting, the farmer's route, whose philosophy is that the farmer should be at the center, or what we call farmer-centered approach. And in this, I have done it at home, and I will continue to add my voice to my colleagues at the center. Second, I also intend to champion a farmer-centered approach on sustainable development goals, specifically on the two major goals, end of extreme poverty and zero hunger by 2030. I do strongly believe that end of poverty is possible on the continent by 2030 simply because of the opportunities that are emerging from increase in demand for food across the globe. Africa can be a net exporter of food. I also believe strongly a farmer-driven climate agenda. I will be adding my voice to my colleagues to ensure that this agenda is realized, especially in implementation of the Paris Agreement. We are already upscaling good practices of climate mitigation in Uganda and adaptation measures against the harsh environment that will definitely affect our smallholder farmers. Lastly, colleagues, I do believe strongly in collegialships. Fellow members of the board that will be nominated today and later on approved by the Annual General Assembly, I promise my commitment to work with everyone, especially to uplift the bottom billion. That is the bottom smallholder farmers who are all concentrated on the African continent. But along the way, I will stand to defend the interests and promote the values of the World Farmers Organization across the globe. I thank you very much for your audience. Once again, my name is Dr. Dick Nuwamanya Kamuganga, seeking your nomination for the African constituency.